I started off by priming my eyelids, and today we'll be using the original Naked palette. I'm starting off by dipping my brush into the color Buck. I'm using the e.l.f. eyeshadow brush, and all I'm going to do is just apply it right into the crease to define it, and I'll also be applying it into my outer V. Now I'm taking my fluffy blending brush. I'm just going to be using this to blend out all of the edges. I'm just using windshield wiper motions to blend everything out. Now I'm just going to dip my blending brush into a little bit of the color Buck to deepen up the crease just a little bit more. Now I am dipping my Urban Decay eyeshadow brush into the color Virgin. I'm just going to pat this onto the brow bone to highlight. Now I am taking the color Naked onto the blending brush. I'm just going to use this color to blend out Buck with Virgin. This just helps to blend everything together and to make it seamless. Next I'm going in with the color Smog. I'm just going to dip my e.l.f. eyeshadow brush into that color and pat it all over my lid. I'm also bringing that color up into the crease, so when we go to blend everything out, this is going to make it even easier. Now I'm just going to blend out all of the edges. I'm going back in with the color Virgin. I'm just going to pat it onto the inner corner to highlight that area. Now the next step is just to remove the tape so we have a nice clean edge. Now, starting on the lower lash line, I'm dipping my brush into the color Smog and just blending it all the way around my lower lash line. I'm dipping my brush into the color Virgin again, just so I can brighten up the inner corner. Next, I'm applying some winged liner off camera. Now I'm taking my L'Oreal Extensions Mascara and I'm just applying it to my lower and upper lashes, just to define them. I usually would wear false lashes, but since this is an everyday look, I'm skipping them today. I'm using my black NYX liner to finish off my winged liner. I'm just going to line my upper waterline. Here's the finished eyes. Now let's move on to the face. To even out our skin and for a natural look, I'm taking the Garnier BB cream. I'm just applying a small amount to the back of my hand, using my Mary Kay Mineral Foundation brush to buff in the BB cream. All I'm doing is just bouncing the brush onto my skin. I'm starting off with a light coverage, and then later on I will add more to the areas where it's needed. As you can tell, I still have some redness on my cheeks, so I'm just going to apply another layer on those areas. Next, I'm taking my Maybelline Brightening Concealer. I'm just going to apply this in a triangle shape under both of my eyes. I'm also going to apply it on the ridge of my nose, just my usual highlighting routine. What this is going to do is just make me look more awake, even if I'm a little tired in the morning. To blend out that concealer, I'm just using that same foundation brush again and just lightly dabbing underneath my eyes in any of the areas where I applied the concealer. To set everything in place, I'm using my Wet n Wild powder in the shade Medium on a fluffy brush. All I'm going to do is just lightly tap this all over my face, and I'm just tapping it, and so that way it'll keep everything right where I placed it. To define my cheeks, I'm taking my NYC Sunny Bronzer with my blush brush, and I'm just going to use that to hollow out my cheekbones. If you're interested in seeing my full foundation routine, be sure to check out my highlight and contour video. Now I'm grabbing my Milani blush. This is the color Coralina. I'm just going to tap it off on the back of my hand because it's pretty glittery and I don't want that glitter all over my face. So I'm just applying it right above where I applied my contour. And then I'm also bringing it down onto the apples of the cheeks just a little bit. Try not to go too heavy with the blush because this is a daytime look. Now using the Wet n Wild Fergie highlighter, I'm just applying that above my cheekbones as well as down the bridge of my nose, above my cupid's bow and on my chin. I'm now going in with this big brush to make sure that everything is blended together. The last thing I'm doing is just applying a little bit of chapstick. Today I'm using SoftLips, and this one is in the scent Watermelon. Okay, here's your back to school look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.